Hello, everybody. Ron Story here, and today we have Keisha Kidan with KGS Corporation of Chicago, and she's going to talk to you about how she started her first business while she had a job. Keisha, introduce. How are you?
Hey, Ron.
Tell us a little bit about your company. Come on. I'm like a high wire act. This should be fun. This kind of gives people an interesting perspective of how our conversations go all the time. Tell them about your company.
Okay, well, the KGS Corporation of Chicago is based on the first company I ever started, which was KGS Real Estate. And I started my real estate company in 2002 while I was working as a paralegal. And so it's kind of evolved over the years into what I do today.
Okay. And what is it that you do today? What has it turned into today?
Okay, well, today, I still do some real estate work. I am an investor and a real estate developer, but I also still hold a full-time job,
Which is
working in education,
okay.
and I work in online education, which I got into that because I was teaching real estate and wanted to start teaching real estate online, and it just kind of snowballed into an opportunity to work for the school district in that capacity.
That's pretty cool. So, what were some of the big lessons that you learned starting your first business? Why did you do it while you still had a job?
Well, I mean, for security, starting a business is a scary prospect because there's no guarantee of your income. And so, working a full-time job, you know that the income will come in, but the sacrifice is that you may have to do work that you don't feel passionate about. And then you also have to sacrifice your time and give up 40 hours or more, probably, for the job in exchange for having the steady income. So, um, I think I needed the security of the full-time job to know where the income was going to come from to fund the passion that I knew I wanted to do for my business.
Okay. So, once you started it, what did you learn? Like, what was the first thing that was obvious to you? Did it help your confidence? Did it teach you sales skills? What were the things that you picked up by starting this business?
Definitely, I learned a lot from experience rather than the preparation I thought I was giving myself by taking classes and participating in educational forums. The biggest thing I learned was that I just had to do something. I had to get out and do something and not be afraid to try and put my hand into the field. And I found out that there are certain things you can only learn in business by putting yourself out there and getting business done.
Okay.
So that's probably the biggest thing I learned is to just get out and do something.
That makes sense. Um, if you could talk about, was it easy? Did you make any mistakes at all? I mean, when you did something, was it perfect right away?
Definitely not.
What? You've been lying to me all this time?
I know I've led you to believe that my life is perfect and everything I touch turns to gold. But truthfully, I started as a real estate salesperson, and so a lot of what I learned in the classroom prepared me for some of the things I saw. But again, I had to make the mistakes to figure out, first of all, if this is something I really loved and wanted to do. But then, second of all, to understand, the purpose and why I wanted to do it and if the mistakes were even going to be worth it. Of course. I mean, you're always going to make mistakes. It helps you to develop, in my opinion, and determine should you move forward, what lessons you want to learn and take with you, and how to avoid those mistakes again.
Okay. Well, in the last 30 seconds, one thing you want to leave them with. You got 30 seconds to go. Um,
So the biggest thing I always tell people is again, be courageous. It is scary to start a business. It's scary to put yourself out in front of people, but just do it. Get over your fear, get out there, and that courage will take you a long way in life, and you won't be afraid to lose a job, ever again. So get that courage up and get out there.